The rain hasn't stopped for 3 days. It turns the world into mud. It washes away the blood, but it cannot wash away the fear. It is October 1916. The Western Front. I am Arthur, just another boy in a tin helmet. Tomorrow morning, at dawn, the whistle will blow. We will go over the top. But tonight is just for the rain, the rats, and the letter I must write.
October 21st, 1916, 11 p.m. I am standing on the fire step, peering into no man's land. The rain is hammering against my helmet. Ping, ping, ping. It sounds like tiny bullets. The trench is a river of sludge. Every time I shift my weight, the mud sucks at my boots. Squelch, slurp. It is freezing cold. The water has soaked through my coat, through my wool uniform, right to my bones. I am shivering, but not just from the cold. 11:15 p.m. It is pitch black out there. Occasionally a flare goes up from the German lines. Faint pop, hiss. For a few seconds the wasteland is lit up in a ghostly green light. I see the craters, the barbed wire looking like thorny vines, and the shapes of things lying in the mud. Then the dark returns, heavier than before. I grip my Lee Enfield rifle. The wood is slippery and wet. 11:30 p.m. My shift is almost over. My eyes are burning from staring into the dark. I stepped down from the ledge. Splash! The water is up to my ankles. I walked along the trench. Men are sleeping in cubbyholes dug into the clay walls. They look like corpses already, wrapped in blankets, their faces pale. Someone is snoring, soft snoring. Another man is muttering in his sleep, calling for his mother. It breaks my heart to hear it. 11:45 p.m. I found a relatively dry spot under a corrugated iron sheet. Rain drumming on metal roof. This will be my shelter. I sat on an empty ammunition crate. Creak of wood. I took off my helmet and placed it on my knees. The relief is instant. I ran a dirty hand through my wet hair. I need to dry my hands. I wiped them on the inside of my coat. 12 a.m. I reached into my breast pocket. My most precious possession is there, a small leather notebook and a pencil. I pulled them out carefully, shielding them from the dripping water. Rustle of paper. "Dear Rose," I whispered. I have written this letter in my head 1,000 times. Now I must put it on paper, just in case. I licked the tip of the pencil. Scratch, scratch. The graphite marks the damp paper. If you are reading this, then I have not come home. October 22nd, 1916, 12:15 a.m. My hand is shaking, making the letters crooked. "Do not grieve for me," I write. "Imagine I am just sleeping in a field of poppies." I stopped. A shadow moved near my boot. 2 small, beady eyes reflected the dim light. A trench rat, huge, fat, and fearless. Squeak! Scuffle! It sniffed at my muddy boot. I kicked a small stone at it. "Go on, get away," I whispered. It didn't run. It just stared at me, twitching its nose. It knows. It knows that this place belongs to them now, not us. 12:30 a.m. I looked back at the paper. I closed my eyes to conjure her face. The smell of the wet clay faded, replaced by the scent of lavender soap. I remembered that Sunday by the river. The sun was so bright it made the water look like liquid gold. Sound of birds singing in flowing river. Rose was wearing her blue dress. She was laughing as I tried to skip stones. promise you'll come back," she had said, her smile fading. "I promise," I had lied. I opened my eyes. The gold river is gone. There is only the gray rain and the black mud. Rain sound intensifies. 12:45 a.m. I felt a rumble in the earth. Deep, distant boom. Artillery. Miles away, but the ground remembers. Dust trickled down from the sandbags above my head. The rat scurried away into a hole. Even the vermin are afraid of the big guns. I pressed the pencil harder onto the paper. Scratch. Snap. The lead broke. Damn it, I cursed softly. I fumbled for my knife to sharpen it. Shing. Scrape. I must finish this. I must tell her everything I never said. 1 p.m. "I keep your ribbon in my pocket," I wrote. "It is the only color in this gray world." I took a bite of my hardtack biscuit. It was rock hard and tasteless. Crunch. I chewed slowly. It felt like eating a piece of chalk. I looked at the sleeping men around me. We are all writing letters in our heads. To mothers, to wives, to children we haven't seen in months. We are a brotherhood of ghosts waiting for the dawn to turn us into memories. 1:15 a.m. The candle is burning low. The wax is dripping onto the crate. Drip, drip. I signed my name at the bottom. "Yours forever, Arthur." I folded the paper carefully. My dirty fingerprints are on the edges, a mark of the trench. I put it in the envelope and licked the seal. It tastes of glue and bitterness. There, it is done. My soul is in that envelope. October 22nd, 1916, 3 a.m. The silence is broken by heavy footsteps splashing through the mud, heavy boots stomping in water. "Wake up, lads! Stand to! Stand to!" It is the sergeant. His voice is a gravelly whisper, but it cuts through the sleep like a knife. Around me, the mounds of blankets begin to stir. Rustling cloth. Men groan as they wake up to the cold reality. The dream is over. The nightmare is back. I put the letter in my breast pocket, buttoning it tight. Button click. It stays close to my heart. 3:30 a.m. "Check your bolts. Clear the mud." I picked up my Lee Enfield rifle. It feels heavier than yesterday. I pulled the bolt back. Clack, clack. A smooth, mechanical sound. I checked the chamber. Clean. I pushed a stripper clip of 5 rounds into the magazine. Metallic click. Snap. I looked at the man next to me. Thomas. He is only 18. His hands are shaking so bad he can't load his rifle. "Here, let me," I whispered. I loaded it for him. He looked at me with terrified eyes. "Thanks, Artie," he mumbled. 4 a.m. The lieutenant is coming down the line. He is carrying a ceramic jar, the rum ration. Liquid courage, they call it. He pours a small measure into my tin cup. Glug, glug. I drank it in one gulp. Gulp. It burns my throat, a hot fire spreading through my chest. For a second, the cold goes away. For a second, I feel invincible. But the taste leaves quickly, leaving only the metallic tang of fear in my mouth. We pass the jar along, a communion of the doomed. 4:30 a.m. The rain has stopped, but a thick fog has rolled in. It clings to the trench walls like a ghost. "Fix bayonets," the order comes down the line. This is the sound I hate the most. I pulled the long 17-inch blade from its scabbard. Shing! I slid it onto the end of my rifle barrel. Click! That sound, that sharp final click, it echoes down the trench as hundreds of men do the same. Click, click, click. We are no longer men. We are weapons now, pointed at the unseen enemy in the mist. 4:45 a.m. We stand on the fire step, waiting, shoulders touching, the smell of wet wool, cordite, unwashed bodies, and rum. My heart is hammering against my ribs, thump, thump, thump. It feels like a trapped bird trying to escape. I touched the pocket where the letter is. Just a little longer, Rose, I thought. Just a little longer.
October 22nd, 1916, 4:50 a.m. The lieutenant is staring at his pocket watch. Tick, tock, tick, tock. In the silence, the ticking sounds like a hammer hitting an anvil. He doesn't blink. His face is gray, like the mask of a statue. I looked at Thomas. He is chewing his lip, blood trickling down his chin. He doesn't notice. We are all statues now, waiting for the sculptor to shatter us. 4:55 a.m. A bird. I heard a bird. Somewhere in the mist, a lark started singing. Faint, sweet birdsong. It is so absurd, so out of place that I almost laughed. A tiny creature singing to the sunrise, unaware that hell is about to open beneath it. "Go away," I whispered. "Fly away, you fool." The bird stopped. The silence rushed back in, heavier than before. The air feels charged, electric. The hairs on my arms are standing up. 4:58 a.m. And then the sky tore open. Deafening roar of artillery. Our guns, thousands of them, firing all at once from the rear lines. Boom, crack, whistle, thud. The shells screamed over our heads like freight trains tearing through the air. The ground jumped beneath my feet. Dust and dirt rained down on our helmets. Clatter of debris. The noise is not just a sound, it is a physical blow. It rattles like teeth, it shakes my bones. I opened my mouth to equalize the pressure, covering my ears with my hands. 4:59 a.m. The barrage is lifting. The explosions are moving forward, walking across no man's land to crush the German wire. This is it. The path is being cleared. The lieutenant puts away his watch. He draws his revolver. Click of hammer cocking. He climbs up the small wooden ladder. He puts the whistle to his lips. I gripped my rifle until my knuckles turned white. I closed my eyes for 1 second. "Rose," I breathed. The noise of the guns fades into a high-pitched ringing in my ears, high-pitched tinnitus sound. Time stops. October 22nd, 1916, 5 a.m. Free! The whistle blows, a shrill, piercing shriek that signals the end of waiting. "Up and over, lads, for king and country!" The shout is lost in the roar. I put my foot on the first rung of the ladder. Wood creaking. I climb. 1 step. 2 steps. I pull myself up over the parapet. The world is white. Thick, swirling fog and smoke. I cannot see the enemy. I cannot see Thomas. I can only see the mud and the wire. I start to run. Heavy breathing, mud splashing. My boots are heavy, but my body feels strangely light. 5:01 a.m. The air is alive with angry bees. Zing, swip, zing. Bullets. They're snapping past my ears, cutting through the mist. I see men falling around me, shadowy figures dropping into the clay, but I keep running. I have to reach the other side. Suddenly, a punch. It feels like a sledgehammer hit me in the chest. Thud. No pain at first, just the force of it knocking me backwards. I fall. The sky spins. Gray, white, gray. Splash. I hit the wet ground. The mud embraces me. 5:05 a.m. I try to stand up, but my legs won't move. I try to breathe, but my lungs are full of fluid. I look at my chest. The uniform is torn.
The letter. The button is gone. I can see the white edge of the envelope. It is stained with red now. Rose, I try to say, but only a bubble of blood escapes. The noise of the battle is fading. The roaring guns sound like they are miles away, underwater. Muffled sounds, ringing, fading away. 5:10 a.m. The gray sky is breaking apart. The fog is lifting. I don't see the barbed wire anymore. I see green. Grass. Tall green grass waving in a gentle breeze. And poppies. Thousands of red poppies glowing in the sun. It is warm. So very warm. I am not in France. I am back by the river. I can hear the water flowing. Sound of river flowing. I can smell the lavender soap. 5:15 a.m. Arthur? I hear her voice, clear as a bell. I turn my head. She is there, standing in the field of flowers. She is wearing her blue dress. She is smiling, holding out her hand. You promised, she whispers. I know, I think. I came back. I reach out my hand. My fingers brush against hers. The cold is gone. The fear is gone. I close my eyes. Long, slow exhale. Silence. Absolute silence. Just the faint sound of wind in the grass. The letter was found 3 days later, stained but legible. It was sent home, a final voice from the mud. Arthur never grew old. He remains there in the fields of France, forever young, forever waiting by the river. Rest in peace, soldier. The war is over for you.